Hello. Everyone able to configure it? So in each machine. Okay. Pratik is fine. What about Asha? Bhavana?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Anybody is not able to configure it? Any problems? Any doubts? So everyone is fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Today we'll be discussing about the continuous integration. Okay, what is this continuous integration? What is the importance of this? Okay, what is the advantage? Why we should go for continuous integration on this? Okay, so the most and important section of our DevOps. Okay, the most beautiful section of our DevOps course is continuous integration. Okay, so you have to remember this block diagram. So before discussing this, let us take a scenario like 10 to 12 years ago when I started pursuing this continuous integration. Hardly there were much of people actively pursuing or working on continuous integration. I would say something 5%. Over 10 years, it has gone to something around 60%. Still, it has long way to go. The reason is very simple. Today's dynamic world demands short release cycle. Okay. So when we compare to the traditional methodology, that is nothing but a waterfall model or waterfall methodology, where if I have 10 features to be released, I will scope like this, like 2 to 3 months requirements gathering and planning, designing, all these things. Another 2 to 3 months development. Okay, another 2 to 3 months testing and release. Okay, another 2 to 3 months maintenance. So this is my release plan. So today, if I start my requirement analysis after 1 year, I will release my software. But present world is such a way where if I release my software 1 year from now almost, so like you are going to release your software 1 year from now. That is nothing but almost the software will die. Okay, correct? Nobody would want that anymore. Or maybe my competitor may be eaten away your software, right? So anything can happen. Mostly it's end up as a failure. So an idle today, if I release after 1 year, it's all over for me, right? So because of this, okay, so continuous integration came into the picture. So before going to that, so we'll take a couple of scenarios. Imagine that right, IPL, okay, Cricket World Cup occurs once in 4 years in the month of March or April, something like that, right? So you developed your web application where it shows score, statistics, beautiful summaries, player profile, okay, all this thing. We know that it starts on March, and so that we should be complete the development and testing by Jan. Okay, Jan and Feb. So March marketing it, and then a lot of viewership, okay, coming on March, and then by chance some delay in release planning, where application development and testing is completed by March, and by the time you market your application, it is May, and the World Cup is over, right? So you have to wait for 4 years to make something out of it, right? That is the pain of software delay today. So because of this delay or okay, anything, any changes, you'll take another year to complete this software. So that is the waterfall method. Okay, in a waterfall methodology, you should take this much time to release a product, but no one will wait, right? So the root cause for delay in release cycle is delay in integration test phase. Okay, where multiple teams work in software project, right? Normally, what happens if they want to develop any application, okay, each team will work on this model, its own model. So as a application, whole application, so to develop that application, you are going to involve the team. So imagine that some 10 members are there. So each members are going to work on one model. Then when they test their own model, it works fine, okay, on their system. So when I integrate all our 10 members work, it may work or it may not work. Okay. So when I try to bring everything together, they don't work. There may be some API changes or methods or return types. Okay. When we try to sort it out, all the differences, it takes extra time than what we have planned, and then that is not going to happen. Okay. That's what kills most of the time on application. So that is why people are moving away from waterfall model now. Already moved. Okay, I'm saying that okay, this is a 10 years old scenario. Okay, so nowadays they are moving into agile model now. When I say agile model, the focus is on short release cycle or iterative releases. Means I have 10 features that has to be delivered over a year. Okay, it will take 1 year to complete. But in first month, I will release first feature. In the second month, I'll release the second feature. I'll keep on adding features incrementally to the software rather than adding all the features, all the things in at a time. Okay. So all integrating at the end of the year. So instead of doing that, so every 1 month or 45 days, I need to have a release. When I say need to have a release, I should have development, coding, testing, bug fixing. Okay. Everything should happen in that 45 days. Okay. That is why we can't plan 20 days for integration test out of the 45 days. So that is why we have a principle of continuous integration. What we do in continuous integration, we don't wait for the phase like integration testing. Okay. You integrate every single changes and you see how it is, how it works. You take a build and see any compilation errors exists and test it. You see, if it is good, okay. Okay, if there is any bad news, let it come on the same day. Probably I will stretch for extra hours and complete it today itself. I don't want surprises in the integration testing. In that way, what we are doing is we are flushing out lot of defects early in the game. That is what continuous integration is all about. Okay. So get your changes early, get the news early, and if there is any correction, do it early. Okay, when I move to the next release, I should not be coming back because of a lot of bugs are found in previous release, which means I have to give over stable releases in 45 days. That's where continuous integration helps actually. Okay. See, whenever the developer does the changes, right? You have developer one, developer two, like this, you have 10 developers. Okay. Everybody, they are going to commit their changes to the source code repository. Once they commit to the version control or Git or SVN, whatever it is. Okay. Next, I have a build system and Termami. Okay. This build system is going to compile the source code and creates an artifact. Okay. That artifacts I'm going to deploy to the QA environment. Okay. So once you deploy it, you test and see everything is fine. If everything is fine, send a report that everything is fine. Then you are going to archive it. If you have a report saying that there is some issue or defect, then again that request defect will be assigned to a particular developer. Again, developers is going to do some changes and then commit it to the source code repository. Again, do the build, create artifact, deploy to QA, test it, and then send the report. So like this, you go on repeating the cycle. Okay. So to set up this continuous integration, you require all these things. Okay. Developer, they will develop the code and then they will commit to the source code repository, version control system. And then you have a continuous integration like build system. Okay. So and then do the build and then archive it and then send it to the, you know, yeah, I'm going to do the build using the some Maven scripts. I'll compile the source code, okay, and then run some test case, okay, and then deploy software to the queue. So these things I told now, all this system, okay, Jenkins, this process, what I will call it as continuous integration. For this, you require a tool called Jenkins, which brings all systems together. Okay. So my continuous integration, that is nothing but a Jenkins, is going to watch the code. Okay, first it will watch the code. If there is any changes in the source code repository, build the product, run the test case, give the results, and again go and watch the code. Repeat the cycle. So continuously keep checking for changes. If I have, okay, if there is any change, build it, deploy it, test it, give the results. Go and check for another change. Okay. This process I call as a continuous integration. Okay, got it? So now if you see the definition, continuous integration is a software development practice or a process where members of team integrate their work frequently. Okay. Usually each person integrates at least daily, leading to multiple integration per day. Each integration is verified by an automated build and test to detect integrations errors as quick as possible. Okay, that is what continuous integration. Okay, continuous integration is a process in which all development work is integrated at a predefined time or event, and the resulting work is automatically built and tested. The idea is that development errors are identified early, very early in the process, rather than the later stage. Okay. So because of this continuous integration, since you are going to identify the issues in the early stage, you're going to improve the code quality and reduce the integration problem. And decrease the project release time and enables frequent releases. Okay, since you're going to improve the code quality, definitely you're going to control the number of defects. So because of this continuous integration, you're going to achieve all these things. Okay. So you'll reduce the number of defects, controls the number of defects. Since defects are reduced means definitely you're going to improve the code quality and reduce the integration problems, and then decrease the project release time and then enables frequent releases. This is what continuous integration. Okay. For this continuous integration, we use a tool called Jenkins. So previously this Jenkins is known as Hudson. Okay. Previously, the Jenkins tool was known as Hudson. Okay. So earlier it is Hudson used as a continuous integration tool. After Oracle has acquired this Sun system, there was some legal issues and Hudson has got moved as Jenkins. Okay. Got it? So now you got some idea about continuous integration. See, without all these things, SVN, Gate, Maven, Tomcat, okay, and without all those things, you can't integrate those things and make it a continuous integration process. So that's why I'm saying all those things are equal. So now you know what is continuous integration. So which is a tool we are going to use for continuous integration. Instead of Hudson, we will install the Jenkins. And then we'll see what are the features available in Jenkins. Okay. Then we'll see how to configure the Jenkins, creating and organizing the jobs in the Jenkins, how to do the builds, managing the plugins, and we'll see how we can give the authentication, user authentication and authorization services. And we'll monitor the jobs. Clear? Okay. So now who is going to share the screen? So all these things should be present. Okay, SVN, Git, Ant, Maven, Tomcat. If everything is present, then you can share the screen. We'll start deploying and installing this Jenkins.
So let me share my screen.
Who is this?
Bhavana.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'll share the Jenkins bar file. Okay, I'll be sending a file, okay, jenkins.var. So download from the chat and keep it in a folder. Yes, I have shared that file, just download it and keep it in, create one folder called Jenkins and keep it over there. DevOps software, in that you keep it. Create a folder Jenkins. Okay. Just I want to check where your Tomcat is running. Just go to browser and check Tomcat localhost colon 8080. Open a browser. Wait, localhost colon 8080. Type it properly. No, in browser address bar you type it. Okay, 8085. Okay, fine. So your Tomcat is running on 8085. Fine. Because Tomcat is also going to run default 8080 and even Jenkins also going to run on 8080. That's why we tried. Okay. So now type it 8080. Okay, fine. Minimize this. Now nothing is running here. Okay. So now we'll install the Jenkins. So now see, this is your war file. Okay, copy this path and open CMD. Okay. So just say dir. See, there is a Jenkins.war file. Okay. So now one way you know how to deploy this to Tomcat, right? In Tomcat, if you deploy this Jenkins var, and then just if you click on that Jenkins var file, you can open your application. Okay, that is the one way. Already we know how to deploy var in Tomcat. So now I want to run it locally instead of deploying it in Tomcat. So then how can I do that? So you can say Java. See, Jenkins is going to work on Java. Okay. So first of all, you should install JDK. Already we have installed Java and Maven, everything is work fine. So that means Java is already installed. If you want to check Java space hyphen version. See, Java is already present, so there is no issue with that. So now I can run a command called java -jar and then that file name jenkins.war. Okay. See, you can give the port number. Okay. But if you don't mention any port number, it is going to run on default 8080. If you want to mention a specific port number, then you have to give an option. Just say space hyphen http small letter. Again, port, P-O-R-T, P capital, is equal to. So what is the port number you want to give, where you want to run? By default, it is going to run 8080. Okay. So they will ask an interview. While installing the Jenkins, okay, where can I mention this port number? So this is the option. -, HTTP port is equal to 8080. See, this you can give, this is an optional. If you don't give this also, by default, it will run on 8080. But if you want to run particularly on different port, 8081, 8082, 8083, 8084, then you have to give this option. Okay? Clear? This, right now, this is not required. So just remove this option. So now if you press enter, it will install the Jenkins and it will say Jenkins is up and running. Until that, you have to wait. Allow access. So you will get an output saying that Jenkins is up and running. Until that, you have to wait. See, now you got Jenkins is fully up and running. Okay. Minimize this command prompt. If you close this, it will shut down. Okay. So just minimize this. Now go to the browser. Just refresh this page. See, now it says Jenkins is installed properly and it says welcomes to Jenkins. Okay. So everybody get this page. So this is how you're going to do the installation. Okay. Now, once you do the installation of Jenkins, you can able to see this dashboard. Okay. Since we are going to mention in your profile Jenkins complete 4 years experience, 5 years experience, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is. So since you are familiar with this Jenkins, you were telling that, okay, you have a good experience in that. So then you should know what are the options you're going to get in this Jenkins. So left side, you have these options. New item, people, build history, manage Jenkins, credentials, something like this. Okay. So now I want to run a simple job and then let us see how it works on. Okay, just go to new item or create new job. Okay. Click on this. So here you have different types of jobs. Okay. Freestyle, Maven project, external job, multi-configure pipeline, something and all you have. Okay. So I will just freestyle. So what is this freestyle job? This is the central feature of your Jenkins. Okay. Jenkins will build your project and then combining any SCM with any build system. And this can be even used for something other than the software build. Okay. So for this, we are using a freestyle. So I'll say first job. my first job. Okay, say okay. Okay. Now you give description. What is the description you want to give? Give anything, na? My job or my first job, whatever. Okay. Next, scroll down. So what I want to do here, just I want to print something. Okay. So here you have something called build step. Down and add build step. So just say execute Windows batch command. Because I'm running it on Windows, I'll select Windows. Okay. Just say echo hello world or echo welcome to Jenkins, whatever. After echo, just give it double quote. Okay. Apply and save it. Now just run build now. Left side. There is something called build now. See already down, you got a history. See how many times you are going to press, okay, that many times it is going to run. You have to be patient. If you click on once, it will take some time and it will run and it will give a result here, build history. So first you can go to the first blue color ball. So blue color ball will represent it is success. Red means failure. Okay, something like that. Click on that. See, it will take you to console output. In console output, it will show what you are going to do. Okay. You're going to run this first job and then it is going to print hello world. And if it is fine, then it will tell you it is success. Got it? Okay. This is a simple job which you are going to print hello world using the Windows command. Okay, fine. So now come to the Jenkins. Click on Jenkins left side. See now in the left side you have something called manage Jenkins. This is very important. Okay, this will be available only for Jenkins administrator or DevOps engineer. So not for all the users. Developers won't be having access for this. Okay. So now this is a very important part in your Jenkins. Manage Jenkins option. Click on this. Just you can click on configure system. See, I want to get some message on system. Okay, just say welcome. Welcome to Bhavana. Okay, apply, save this. See, in the top, you are able to see that welcome to Bhavana. Okay, so this is a configuration where I'm going to do it for global settings, system configuration. So whatever I'm going to